It's the biggest night of your life. 1.7 million people are watching. Your entire country is counting on you. You are the best player on the planet. And then, just hours before kickoff, you collapse. You stop breathing normally. Your teammates think you might be dying. And yet you still walk out onto that pitch. This is now a movie. This actually happened. And the man at the center of it, Ronaldo Nazario, the greatest striker who ever lived. And July 12, 1998, was the day he stared death in the face and still laced up his boots. Part 1 HO Mas Ronald. Now, before we get into that night, let's make sure you truly understand WHO this man was. Because if you grew up in the United States, you might know Ronaldo as just the guy with the weird haircut or that Brazilian dude from FIFA. But let me tell you something, there has anywhere been a player like Ronaldo Nazario. By the time he was just 23 years old, 23, he had already scored over 200 career goals. Think about that. Most players don't reach that number in their entire careers. At 21, he won the Ballon d'Or, the award for the best soccer player in the world. He is still to this day the youngest player in history to win that trophy. He had won the World Cup as a teenager with Brazil in 1994. He was already a legend, and he hadn't even hit his prime yet. By 1998, Ronaldo wasn't just a soccer player, he was a phenomenon. They literally called him El Fenomeno. He could dribble past 5 defenders like they were cones. He could shoot with either foot. He had pace that made defenders look completely lost, and his finishing ice cold. The world had never seen anything like him, and heading into 1998 World Cup in France, Ronaldo was THE man. Partitu, TH 1988 World Cup Brazil arrived in France as the defending World Cup champions. They were the most feared team in the tournament. And the reason, one named Ronaldo. In the group stages and knockouts, he was used to Pixabay 4 goals, 3 assists. He was dragging Brazil through the tournament almost single-handedly. And on July 12, 1998, everything was building toward the final. Brazil vs France. The defending champions versus the host nation. France had Zinedine Zidane, one of the greatest of all time. They had Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Marcel Desailly. It was a staff-Cady team, but still, Brazil were favored. Because they had Ronaldo, 75,000 fans packed the Stade de France in Paris, and a television audience of 1.7 billion people worldwide tuned in. One of the largest audiences in the history of sport. Everyone was waiting to see Ronaldo put on a show. Then, about an hour before kickoff, the team sheet was released, and the world stopped. Ronaldo's name was not on it. Part 3. TGCI. Let me take you back a few hours earlier. After lunch that afternoon, Ronaldo went back to the hotel room he shared with his Brazil teammate Roberto Carlos. He lay down on his bed. He thought he was just resting. Then, it happened. Full convulsive seizure. Ronaldo's body shook violently. He lost consciousness. His teammates rushed in. The team doctor was called immediately. For several terrifying minutes, nobody knew if Ronaldo was going to be okay. Think about that for a second. The best player in the world, hours before the World Cup final, unconscious in a hotel room. When Ronaldo came to, he didn't fully understand what had just happened. He said later, "I woke up and I saw the doctor and my worried teammates around me. And I thought, what happened? The medical team was clear. Ronaldo could now play." Doctors said it was nearly impossible for any human being to perform at an optimal athletic level within 24 hours of their first convulsive seizure. And that's why, when the team sheet was released, Ronaldo was not in it. The coaching staff made the call. The medical staff agreed. Brazil would go into the World Cup final without their best player. Part 4. But then something remarkable happened. Ronaldo refused to accept it. With just minutes to go before the game, he walked up to the coach and the team doctor. He said, "I feel okay. I want to play. I will play." The doctor described the moment like this, and I want you to think about how impossible his position was. Imagine if I had stopped Ronaldo from playing and Brazil lost. At that moment, I'd have to go and live at the North Pole. This decision was bigger than any one person. Bigger than the doctor, bigger than the coach, bigger than anyone in that room. And ultimately, they listened to him. The starting lineup was changed. Ronaldo's name was added back. And when Brazil walked out of that tunnel, Ronaldo was the last player to emerge. 75,000 fans ERP-D. They had no idea what had happened just hours before. They thought they were about to see El Fenomeno do what he always did. What they got was something heartbreaking. Part 5. THM. From the very first minute, France were dominant, and Ronaldo was a ghost. In the 27th minute, Zidane rose highest from a corner and headed France in front. Then, Right before halftime, Zidane scored a GAIN from another corner. Brazil were 2 down at the break. In the second half, Ronaldo had a shot from inside the 6-yard box, and the French goalkeeper Fabien Barthez handled it comfortably. The Brazil coach admitted afterward that he spent the entire first half debating whether to take Ronaldo OFF. He said the entire squad was scared for their teammate. That fear affected the whole team going into the game. With a few minutes left, France's Emmanuel Petit added a third goal to seal it. 3-0. France were World Cup champions. On home soil in front of their own fans, it was one of the most stunning upsets in World Cup history. And Ronaldo, the man who was supposed to carry Brazil, had been described by journalists as sleepwalking through the game. This was not the Ronaldo the world knew. This was a man who had suffered a medical emergency just hours earlier and had no business being on that pitch. But he was there. He played every single minute, because that's who he was. Part 6. After the game, Ronaldo said something that will stay with me forever. What? Lost the World Cup. But I won another cup, my life. And yet, the world wasn't ready to just accept that explanation. The story blew up into one of the biggest scandals in sports history. Conspiracy theories started flying. Some people accused Brazil of deliberately losing to fix the match for France. Others went even further, accusing Nike, Ronaldo's major sponsor, of forcing him to play the game for commercial reasons, even knowing he wasn't fit. It got so serious, Ronaldo was called to appear before the Brazilian Congress. He had to sit in front of lawmakers and explain, under questioning, exactly what happened. He told them I had a convulsion after lunch. I was unconscious for 3 or 4 minutes. Nobody knows why it happened. There was a lot of pressure. You cannot disconnect from the competition. To this day, the exact cause of that seizure has never been fully explained. It remains, as one CNN journalist put it, one of the greatest mysteries of our time. Part 7. But here's where this story turns from tragedy to triumph. 4 years later, 2002 World Cup. Japan and South Korea. Ronaldo had spent years battling injuries so severe that his own physiotherapist said his kneecap had practically exploded. He missed nearly 2 full seasons. Most people thought he was done. Finished, his best days were behind him. They were wrong. Ronaldo came back to that 2002 World Cup, led Brazil all the way to the final. And in that final against Germany, he scored TW's past one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time, Oliver Kahn. Brazil won 2-0. Ronaldo won the Golden Boot. He won the Golden Ball. And he helped Brazil claim their fateful World Cup title. Most goals in World Cup history at that time, 2 World Cup titles, 2 Ballon d'Ors. From the hotel room floor in Paris to the top of the world in Yokohama. Tate is Ronaldo Nazario. So here's the question I'll leave you with, knowing everything he went through. The seizure, the injuries, the conspiracy theories, the comeback. Where do you rank Ronaldo Nazario among the greatest of all time? Top 10? Top 5? Then you and drop your answer in the comments right now. And if this story gave you chills the way it did for me, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we've got a lot more stories like this one coming. I'll see you in the next one.